Welcome to another episode of Dad Can We Talk? I am your host, Anthony Ray, and this is episode 123 of Dad Can We Talk? And before we get started with this episode today, you guys know what I need from all my listeners and my followers out there. I need for you guys to go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel at Dad Can We Talk? Follow us on Facebook at Dad Can We Talk? You can follow us on Instagram at Dad Can We Talk? You can listen to all the other episodes of Dad Can We Talk at www.dadcanwetalk. All the episodes are streaming there, audio and video. And those are all the places where you can find us. Well, you can also listen at Apple Podcasts and Spotify at Dad Can We Talk. Or you can just simply go to Google and type in Dad Can We Talk and it'll pop up. I guarantee you it'll pop up. So, and one more thing before I get started, I need you guys to go and check out my sponsor. Shout out to my sponsor, TriTech. Go to www.tritech.net. If you are interested in a new career, they help you to become a certified sterile processing technician for only $800. To get started, all you got to do is pay the $100. And then once you start it's an online course. Once you start that, you'll go, you pay the rest of the $700 over time. You can pay that monthly. You can set up your payments as you go. So if you're a dad, if you're someone that listens to this and you want to change your career, you're looking for something different in your life, go to www.tritech, that's TRYTEC.net, and you can find more information about that there. So yeah, shout out to TriTech. So without further ado, man, I am here with a man who reached out to me last week, and I was like, okay, let's do this, man. And if anyone knows me, you know that I am a huge fan of the NBA. I am like, anyone follows me, you know me personally, that's all I talk about. NBA, basketball. That's all I'm on. So when this guy reached out to me and I went to his website and I looked up some of his stuff, and I'm like, okay, he's serious. You know, he wasn't around with me.
Impressive.
Yeah, impressive, man. Just reading up on his story, I had to know more, just briefly looking over his book. So he has a book out right now, and it is called Power Forward. And so when I started to look over some of the stuff that he sent me with the book, and I went to his website, this man, he played 3 years in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He was coached by the great Bill Russell. For all the basketball fans out there, if you don't know Bill Russell, come on,
man.
His
birthday is today.
His birthday is today? Wow, man.
Hey, February the 12th, 1933.
Wow, man. Shout out. Let's give a happy heavenly birthday to Mr. Bill Russell.
Spot on.
But yeah, man. So I'm definitely willing to. I'm ready to hear more of his story. He graduated magna cum laude. Just so many impressive things that I read over in the last few days. And I'm ready to get to this, man. I am ready to be inspired. I'm ready to be empowered. Y'all know I love hearing people's stories, and I know this guy has a story that's nothing short of spectacular. So let's get to it. So y'all, welcome to the show, my man, Dean Tolson. How you doing, man?
Thank you, Anthony. And I want to say thank you for having me on Dads Can We Talk, and all your listeners, podcast listeners out there that can truly benefit from this story and this show. and make a difference not only in their own lives, but in their children's lives. And
Mhm.
that relates directly to Dad, Can We Talk?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the way I start the podcast off with the first question every time. So we're gonna do the same thing today. So my first question that I have for you today is, what was your relationship like with your dad? Talk about that.
Okay, I'd first like to say that I am from Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm representing today because
Okay, okay, I see you.
last night.
Yeah,
Did they upset them and set it off?
yeah, man, I see you.
Okay, that's why I'm born. I was in the first Super Bowl, 1970, with the Kansas City Chiefs, with Lynn Dawson, uh, uh, quarterback, the coach, Hank Stram,
Mm,
uh, Otis Taylor, Buck
mm,
Buchanan, Willie Lanier, Bobby Bell.
okay.
There was
You
a
took
coach.
it back for y'all, man.
I was 18 years old. I'm 72 now.
Wow. Wow.
I celebrated that first Super Bowl with them in 1970. That's the year I graduated from Central High School in Kansas City.
Wow. Man.
So
You
I
took
didn't mean to bypass your question with my dad, but I had to put that in there.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna say this. I was rooting against y'all last night. I
I
was
know you was. A lot of people were,
yeah.
and they got disappointed
Yes, sir.
for 3 seconds on the clock.
Yes, sir. That was a good game,
They
man.
didn't even have time to 3 seconds. You can't even snap the ball. They walked off the field. So
Yeah.
and so what I'm saying is that city in that city in America, if
Mm,
you grow up there and overcome the adversity in that city, you can survive in any city in America
mm.
and any city in the whole world. And that's what I did. I went all over the world.
Yes, sir. What was it like growing up in the 50s and the 60s?
Well, it was a civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Blacks were struggling to survive, and many of them was on welfare, and we
Mm,
used to stand in the USDA food lines because we were poor. My mother put me and my two brothers in an orphan home for 5 years because we had no dad. That's the answer to your question.
mm, 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 mm.
And so at 9 years old, I became a little man with a dream to play in the NBA.
Mm. And what sparked that dream? What was that spark for you?
It was a way out.
Mm,
Like I say, it's so rough in Kansas City. It's black on black crime, 3 murders a day, sometimes more.
mm,
Prostitution, gambling, stealing, robbing, lying, cheating. The system,
yeah.
inner city system.
Mm,
You got that vein right there. Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City.
mm,
All three of those cities feed off of each other, and Chicago being the worst.
mm.
And St. Louis is next, and then Kansas City.
Wow.
So
So
to
at that
survive
young age.
and come up in that,
Mm,
you either turn into a man or you lose. Figure it out. And every time I see them doing gangster stuff, I go get my ball and go to the blacktop, work on my game, and keep working on my dream to go to college and get in the NBA.
mm.
I wasn't gonna let nothing curtail me from following that dream. And I didn't know by hook or by crook how I'm gonna get there. But somewhere in my mind, I knew that I was gonna play in the NBA at 6'9" with a 48-inch vertical.
Oh, so you was jumping out the gym.
I was in the first NBA slam dunk contest,
Okay. Okay.
1976, 77. Denver, Colorado, David Thompson,
Yes, sir.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll email you that.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta see that one, man.
I-
I gotta see that. I gotta see it.
It's old school.
Yes, sir. You
And
know,
quite the life.
so were there any other men, with your dad not being there and you growing up in the place that you grew up in? Were there any other men that stepped in? Were there any role models, any guys in the neighborhood that you looked up to? Who were those people that, inspired you?
Yeah.
Who were those?
My auntie dated Wilt Chamberlain at Kansas University Jayhawks. And she would bring him home.
Ain't no way, man.
Bring him to my mama's house. That
No
was
way.
that's my dad's sister.
Wow.
And so he come there and he played with us, and he was so big and awesome. He pick us up in the small of our back, and me and my older brother, he just waved us both in the air like that. And then he set us on the floor. We take off running and laughing and playing, and we go away for a little while, and come back and he do it again.
Yeah.
And he was a gentle giant, the nicest guy I ever met.
Wow.
He loved kids. And so 8 years later, I saw him and Bill Russell battling for the championship. They was called the Philadelphia Warriors, not the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
And they was battling the Boston Celtics for the championship in like 57, 58. Boston was playing Philly. And Bill Russell and them upset him. Wilt Chamberlain only won one championship at Philly. And then he won one at the Lakers with Jerry West. He only had two.
Yep.
Russell had 11.
Mm.
And so these two men, when I grew up and was drafted by Bill Russell with Seattle. And I had both these men in my life.
Wow.
They revolutionized the game and they made it what it is today. And you know that. Those two guys.
What were some of the most important lessons that you learned from those two men?
The struggle that it takes to get to the highest level. See, I used to average 30 points a game and 20 rebounds. Don't nobody know that.
Man, you was out there killing like that. Man.
And that's why I wrote this story. Because I want to demonstrate to kids, no matter how good you are, it can be taken away from you. Get your lesson.
Yeah.
School, get your lesson. And can't nobody take that from you. And I finally got mine. And that's why I'm getting to talk to you today. Because you respect that. And no one can take it from me now. See?
Yes, sir.
Real talk.
Yeah, that's real right there.
And that's my message to kids in America. I want this message to resonate to 50 states. Because kids need to understand in this challenging world we live in, that it's all about them. They the future. It ain't you and me, it's them. Figuring it out. And they're so confused and so misunderstood. And I understand them because I used to be like them.
Mm. Mm.
The world don't owe you nothing. And they're not illiterate. I was illiterate.
Yeah. How did, you growing up in the time period that you grew up in, what role did racial segregation play in, I know around that time you're probably middle school, going into high school. How much did that affect you, and how much did you see it change, after the Brown versus Board and all of that? Like, talk about that whole time period and how that affected you and your neighborhood.
Well, that what was it? Brown versus the state of Kansas,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Was Brown versus Kansas? I was born in Kansas.
Mm.
So I'm right there in the midst of it.
Mm.
And when Martin Luther King was assassinated, they had the riots all over the city, and the whole city was like burning down.
Wow.
And I had to get in the riots because they forced me to. And I said, you know what? This is ugly. This ain't the way. It's not the answer. And as I grew up, I said, you know what? I've done something that where I can do something about this in America and make people listen to me, because no one has ever listened to me. All they did was watch me play ball and make money off me.
Mm.
Millions. I still hold all the records at the University of Arkansas to this day. No one has broke my records. Bobby Portis, 7-footer with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even break them.
Mm-hmm.
In the NBA right now. Couldn't touch him.
So you holding it down.
I'm just a Razorback. I started it down there.
Yeah.
I never got credit for it because I was illiterate. They talk about Sidney Moncrief. They talk about Ron Brewer. They talk about Todd Day. They talk about Joe Johnson.
Mm.
You never hear them talk about Dean Tolson.
Never. No, that's real. Never.
I averaged 23 points a game and 14.7 rebounds my senior year.
Mm.
Ain't nobody putting up numbers like that at 6'9" with a 48-inch vertical. If you had that right now, you'd be the first pick in the NBA draft out of a D1.
Mm.
You'd be first pick. And you can handle the ball. You shooting over 50% anywhere you go.
Mm.
I broke the Sonics field goal percentage record with 56.6 in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 53.3. I broke it. Just to show you how I could play. I got most points scored in 60 seconds than any man that ever played in the NBA.
No, man.
You talking to him. It ain't Stephon Curry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I scored 12 points in 60 seconds against the Atlanta Hawks in 1975.
Okay.
Okay. And it was the first NBA game I ever played in. I never touched the floor before. And he put me in. We was down by 15. When I came out, we was down by 3. I hit 12 in 60 seconds. And we won the game that night.
Mm-hmm.
And he benched me. And I couldn't understand.
Mm.
I sit on the end of the bench and I cry. Because I know I'm better than the rest of these guys. But I ain't gonna never get to play.
Mm.
I average a point a minute in the NBA. If you put me in 15 minutes, I got 15 points. Put me in 20 minutes, I got 20 points. But he never let me play 40 minutes, so I get 40 or 50 or 60 on somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, he let me go like that. He set that butt back down. So I wouldn't do it. Because somebody else in the NBA would see me do it. And then I'd be playing against them.
Mm.
And Spencer Haywood was the man on our team, getting $650,000 a year in 1974. I am the lowest paid NBA player in the history of the NBA. I got $248 every 2 weeks for 4 years.
Wow. And I think I read you. It said that you were the first player to be drafted by the NBA and ABA.
ABA out of Arkansas.
Right,
That's
right. Okay.
I was drafted with Dr. J, and I turned down Dr. J to play for Bill Russell.
Wow.
Probably
And Dr. J was with who at that time?
New York
Yeah.
Nets. New York Nets on Long
Yeah.
Island, New York.
Yeah.
I probably should have went with Dr. J.
Yeah.
My protege and mentor was Warren Jabali Armstrong.
Mm.
He went to Wichita State and played for Ralph Miller. Ralph Miller was the third winningest coach in collegiate basketball in America. I think John Wooden was first. And then I forget who was second, but he was third. He coached downtown Freddie Brown and John Johnson. And I played with downtown Freddie Brown and John Johnson with Seattle Supersonics. They won the championship in 1978-79, and I should have been on that team. But they replaced me for Wally Walker.
Mm.
And I didn't get my ring.
Wow.
The Sonics cut me 5 times in 4 years.
Jeez.
That's another record. No player has been cut and brought back to a team 5 times.
Yeah.
Dean Tolson.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
That's a wild stat. That's a wild stat. So, I know a lot of people talk about the politics of the NBA today. So, like back in that time, the politics of the NBA was the same. Wow.
You couldn't deal with it. It didn't matter how good you were. Talent didn't matter. What matters is whoever was in charge, if they like you or not.
Mm.
Because I'm kicking behind every day for 4 years. That's how I kept making the team and keep bringing me back.
Mm.
Just on the strength of talent. I'm dunking from the free throw line, man.
Really jumping out the gym.
Oh,
Flying through the air.
yeah, that Air Jordan stuff, I was doing that before he was born.
Yeah. we got to let people know Jordan got that from you.
Well, let's just say that came after me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I learned a lot of mine from Dr. J.
Okay.
And Connie Hawkins.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah. So the people from your era, I know a lot of times people talk about Michael Jordan, everybody talk about LeBron James, but from my knowledge, people from your era, it was Dr. J.
Right.
Who was the GOAT? Yeah, okay.
You just take off from anywhere. That's how I was. I take off from anywhere on you and slam.
Okay.
I didn't believe in stepping in the paint because I thought if the paint was wet, I'd get paint on the bottom of my shoe. I take off outside the paint.
Yeah.
Then we get my shoes wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the shoes clean.
And normally, athlete, it would be I'm dunking on somebody. I'm just not wide open. I'm jumping over men and slamming on them in the air.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how Doc did. He would
Mhm.
dunk, as Michael Cooper, he would dunk on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dunking on me.
Got the afro flying all through the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, in college, we played Robert Parrish
Mm-hmm.
sitting there. I had 33 and 18 on him that night.
Sheesh. So you gave Robert Parrish the work.
Oh, he couldn't. He get caught up in transition. And he can't do nothing with it. It's just
Yeah.
like, imagine me playing like Kobe back then
Yeah.
and don't get to play.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Anybody that know me know this.
Mm-hmm.
That court don't lie, do it, Anthony. When
No,
y'all,
they don't. No.
no, they don't lie. You
No,
can't lie
sir.
on that. Them stats don't lie, do they? You can lie all you want to, but them stats don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever numbers and digits you put up, that's what you got. I do
Mm-hmm.
it every night. I don't care who it was, how good they were. Just let me out there on them. And when I played overseas, I averaged 45 and 50 a night on them over there. Overseas. I played overseas for 12 years.
Yeah.
And everywhere I go, they give me a name because I'm scorching them.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, I was Filipino Dino.
Okay.
And when I was in Venezuela, I was the Girafa.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I played for the Superman, Kurt Rambis in Athens, Greece,
Mm-hmm.
I was Ella Ella.
No, man.
They give me a name. I scored so many points and grabbed so many rebounds, they give me a name in the place. They got to name me.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
these guys, you develop that reputation
Mm.
in the CBA. We won the championship up there. The last two. 27 and 4. I'm averaging like 27 and 16 rebounds, 17 rebounds.
Okay.
27 and 4. We didn't lose.
Mm.
And
So
so,
what made you name the book Power Forward?
well, I was gonna name the book Magnum Cum Laude
Mm.
because I went from illiteracy to Magnum Cum Laude.
Mm.
And that did not encompass enough to cover everything that I wrote in the book. And Power Forward covered everything in its generality. In general, it covered everything.
Mm.
And that's what people need to know. Because they're not going to be magna cum laude, but they can power forward in their life.
Yes, sir.
That's what the book demonstrated.
Mm.
And anybody, I learned, Anthony, that anybody can do this comprehensive curricular thing in their life. Anybody. It's all about application and applying yourself, being committed, never giving up, never quit. Work as hard as you can. I used to cry every night.
Mm.
My head would be hurting. My eyeballs would be hurting. My fingers would be hurting from writing. Because you're starting literally with your ABCs at 32 years old. I started to learn to read and write at 32 years old.
Wow.
That's why I say anybody can do it.
And you made it all the way to the NBA like that.
Like that.
Jeez.
Not being able to read and write. And then that's another message on top of a message of how I gotten taken advantage of. I couldn't even read my NBA contract.
Wow.
So they just do anything to me they want.
Mm.
And so I didn't start to read until I was 32 years old, and I still couldn't read that well then. And by the time I graduated, realized how far I was lacking educationally, even though I graduated. I realized how much all that I missed for 32 years. This is why you start them out when they're young. That's why I said this book should be in every home of America.
Yes, sir.
And it should be on a motion picture film for them all to see it. Every kid in this country, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, Latino, I don't care who you are. Because that's what makes a place for a better world. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
If you educated, I'm educated. We can negotiate. You can get what you want. I can get what I want. You walk away happy. I walk away happy. If I'm uneducated and I feel you beat me out of something because I'm uneducated, I'm mad. Ain't that what they did to me in the NBA?
Yes, sir.
I'm mad. You beat me out of my career for no reason. Politically or whatever. You don't like me. I don't know. I don't care. That's what you did. And so now somebody gonna rebel, ain't they?
Sir.
And that's what these kids are doing today. They are rebelling now with the system that we have, educational system that we have going in this country. It's awful. It's doom and gloom. You're gonna wind up being a murderer, a rapist, a thief, a drug addict, or in the cemetery. That's your fate. And you know what? As I was growing up and overcoming this, I saw all of those things coming through the system. And I said, that ain't gonna be me. That's not gonna be me. I don't know who it's gonna be, but it won't be me. I'm gonna overcome this, what was done to me. That's powerful, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
That's power forward right there.
And the stats for all of that you talked about just now, the stats for all of that is significantly higher when there's a dad not present.
What's your chance? What's the odds of you overcoming all that? I could have just got in trouble doing anything and never accomplished my goal. Anything happened, right? It could have been not me doing anything. It could have been by me hanging out with somebody by association that screwed my whole career up. But miraculously, that didn't happen, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
And so God want me to have this story, don't it? Ain't that what that is? Ain't that what that is?
Yes, sir.
If you are a believer. If you're not a believer, then that's on you.
Straight up.
I believe that though nothing accidentally happened, including me having this interview with you tonight.
Straight up. Even with us being a whole hour off on our time.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am sorry. This is deep.
That was on me. That was on me, man.
Hey, this is deep though, Anthony.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm 72. I'm 72. How old are you?
I just turned 35.
Oh man, you're a good man.
Yeah.
You're a good man. Understanding this already at 35.
Yes, sir.
See, you already understand. And it took me 32 years to even start to understand, and you already are there. That's what I'm talking.
Yes, sir. When was that moment when you found out that you were about to be a dad?
I ran into a woman that found that saw me as a man, a black man. that never had a child. And because of my statue and who I am and what I've accomplished, she wanted to tap into that and did, and tricked me. Entrapment. I never asked her to have my child. Entrapment. And I got caught in the trap. And that happens in life with black men. They get caught in the trap. And they may be good men, they may be good people, but it don't matter. You got a baby now, you got an obligation to take care of it. It's on you as a man. And it's with you for the rest of your life. Not today or tomorrow, next year, 10 years, 20. It's for the rest of your life. You got caught in that trap. This is why I don't promise anybody anything. I love you. I want your baby. I'm gonna ride on that white horse into the sunset, just you and I. Nah, I've never done it with a woman. And if you don't mean it, you shouldn't be doing that out there.
Straight up.
Hey, the Bible says it's a blessing to be married. It's a blessing to be single as well. You're blessed either way. So don't screw it up. Either way. So I chose the way to be single so I could accomplish this goal that you and I are discussing tonight. That was more important to me than getting married. And I pulled it off. I pulled off the miracle and the upset. I'm the first person in American history that ever pulled this off. The first professional athlete to ever do it. Arthur Ashe did a documentary on me and Dexter Manley. And Dexter Manley went back to OSU and they gave him his degree, wrote his name and handed it to him. He goes before Congress of the United States and said, my name is Dexter Manley and I can't read or write, and broke down, started crying. I'm a Super Bowl champ with the Washington Redskins and I cannot read or write. He testified. He confessed that he'd been illiterate his whole life. I did the same thing, but I went back and proved that it can be done as a professional athlete. I'm the first to ever do it, and I'm so proud of that. It's not to be braggio, it's to take it and help others understand the concept of getting an education. 68% of the graduating seniors of 2023 in the state of Arizona, where I live, elected not to go to college last year. 68% of the graduating class in the whole state. Every day, 7,000 kids drop out of high school. One every 26 seconds, and 1.2 million a year drop out.
Why do you believe that to be so? Like, why do you believe that's why do you believe that these kids are just electing to drop out to just for whatever, what do you believe is the reason?
The family structure starts in the home. Education starts in the home with the family, the mom and the dad. First of all, they need psychological support from both parents. And we got a lot of one-parent family homes in America today, which is a split, right? And you pit the mom against the dad and the dad against the mom, and the kid is caught in the middle. So psychologically, a lot of kids can't handle that. I handled it, but I handled mine even at a more deficit in an orphan home. And then I handled it physically in the orphan home, but I didn't handle it educationally. See that? I flunked the 5th grade twice, Anthony. And they were gonna flunk me the third time. And my mom came up to the school and says, no, he's the biggest kid in this class, pass him anyway. And then that started a trend of them giving me my test. My ACT, SAT test was taken for me by a little white kid, the same age as me, and he passed the test in flying colors. And that's how I got enrolled in the University of Arkansas.
Mm.
See, that's how this all started. Because they wanted the 30 points a game and 20 rebounds when I'm coming out of high school. I was the top player in the whole state of Missouri out of high school. And so I got used. And I didn't quite know what to do about it. I was confused. And many times I was tempted to go do something stupid, go do something wrong, step outside the box, get with the gangsters, go buck wild. And I said, no, Dean, stay the course. Stay the course. And something will work out in the end. And that came from my mom. Stay the course. Not my dad, my mom. She made sure I stayed the course. I got so many whoopings, I can't remember how many whoopings I used to get from my mom. She beat it, man. She beat it. She said, she would say to me, son, you almost made it through the day, but you didn't quite make it. Bring it on in here.
Yeah.
And then take you back to your room when I'm done. I don't want to look at your face no more tonight.
Yeah.
You're going to mind me. You're going to mind me.
Mm-hmm.
She was the mom, the dad, the aunt, the uncle, everybody. Coach, everybody. She wore all kinds of hats in the house. She had 5 big men like me.
Dang.
5 of us. 4 boys, 1 girl. Now, miraculously, my 5 brothers and sisters, 3 of them got a master's degree and 1 of them got a doctorate.
Mm.
And my mama never paid 1 dime in tuition.
Mm. That's a blessing.
Yeah. How do you do that? How does that happen?
That's a real.
She never paid 1. I swear to God, she never paid 1 dime in tuition. And out of the 5 of us, 3 of us got a doctorate and 1 got a master's.
Mm.
Miraculous. And mine was the most miraculous out of all of them.
Mm.
I never even dreamed about graduating from high school, let alone college. My mom, to graduate from high school, I had to pass cooking. I had to bake a cake. You don't pass cooking, you ain't graduate. Well, my mama taught me how to cook. So I passed cooking.
Yeah.
And it gave me a high school diploma. I graduated with like 1.43. You'll read it in the book.
Yeah.
You're supposed to graduate with less than a 2 point.
Mm.
But they just did whatever back then. It's still that way, but they just have sophisticated ways of cheating now.
Mm.
And it's wrong. They should not cheat for these kids, Anthony. That's wrong.
Yes, sir.
Anybody cheat for you, did it?
No, sir.
You got yours.
Yeah, boy.
You figured it out, right?
Yes, sir. Had to.
That's the only way. And so this has been quite the life for me, man.
Mm. What would you say to men out there that I talk with a lot of guys who want to be a part of their children's lives, but for whatever reason, there are women out there that choose to attempt to keep the child away from the dad for whatever reason. What would you say to the men out there that are dealing with those struggles and they're fighting for the custody of their children? They really want to be there. Like, talk about that. What advice would you give them?
Okay. No matter what anybody else say or do in life, you take responsibility of being your own man and making your own decisions and fighting and standing up for what you believe in. My daughter's mama took me to court 22 times and lied on me and said that I was physically touching my daughter and doing things I shouldn't be doing to her. And I've never done anything like that in my life to no child, let alone my own.
Yeah.
She thought she could win in the courtroom by doing that. So no matter what somebody thought about me and that, I kept my sanity. See, men lose their minds over this stuff because they love their kid. And so if somebody's doing that to you, you stay the course. You got to stay the course. That's my biggest message to them. Don't let them run your train off the track.
Yes,
you keep on track. And I did that with my daughter. I stayed on track.
Yeah.
To keep my daughter in my life as long as I could.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And they took me to jail behind my daughter. But I didn't do anything. They just took me to jail. For trying to be in my daughter's life.
Wow.
And I've never, look, I don't have a parking ticket, okay? I kept my good sanity and my mind, and that don't mean that you don't have to pay. You still got to pay your child support, man. You can't get out of that. You can't get out of that. And keep your mind. See, it makes you mad that you paying, and then you don't get what you deserve to get after paying for your child. The court is always going to side with the woman. Always. She win, you lose. That's how it's set up. And it started in the garden of Adam and Eve. That's where it started. She win, you lose. And you better understand that. Because it's not going to change, is it? When you walk in that courtroom, you the bad guy. Very seldom do the man win the custody of the kids. Very seldom. They give them to the mom. So then that means if they do that, what you got to do? What's your obligation, responsibility if they gonna do that? Get mad, do something stupid?
Oh,
see,
do that.
How many men do that? And then they in the long run, they lose their relationship with their child. My child was brainwashed to lose the relationship she had with me growing up. The mom brainwashed.
And how old is she now?
30.
30.
Okay. And so at 18 years old, that's when she was fully brainwashed of having a father-daughter relationship. Even though I was in her life, I never missed a visitation in 18 years. Did you know that? I had visitation, the mom had custody. I never missed a visitation. I would catch a plane, a train, swing on a rope, or get from Seattle to Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, to see my daughter for 18 years. I fly her out. She stayed with me every summer for 3 months. And then when she starts back to school, I get her for Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. 18 years. And then when she got 18 years old, Her mama told her, you ain't gotta do what your daddy say no more.
Mm.
And she stopped doing what I said, including not take that scholarship I told you.
Mm. Dang.
It's a tragedy. And I'm not saying that I'm an angel or anything like that, or I lived a perfect life. I'm saying that I overcame adversity. That's all I'm saying. However I did that, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the system dealt me, I overcame it, didn't I?
Mm.
And when you start out with an illiterate child, and then he goes all the way through 250 pages in a memoir autobiography and graduate magna cum laude with a master's degree, you got a different viewpoint in your mind about that person, don't you?
Mm.
And stayed out of trouble when he did it.
Mm.
I had to stay out of trouble, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Okay, to navigate that. And it's so much more to the story, Anthony. I can talk to you till the cows come home. I can't get it all to you, baby. I can't. It's too
Yeah.
much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just over the top.
Mm.
And this is what kids are struggling with. It's life, and it got to the point where it's too much.
Mm.
And they can't put it together and make sense out of it. And I feel for them in my heart. Because I know what they're going through. All of us have dreams and wishes and hopes and ideals and aspirations. Who don't have that? I don't know one individual that don't want something in life. Everybody wants something.
Mm.
Now, the $1 million question, how do you get it?
Mm.
What do you do to go about it to get it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you go? What's the footprint or the blueprint to get it? And that's where they lost. They don't know. So
Yeah.
they act like that they think they know, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they whip out their cell phone and they Google the answer. And in their mind, now they think they know. And they don't know nothing.
Mm.
See? It's more substance to it than that.
Mm.
Technology is causing that to make them think they know.
Mm.
And this is why you got AI coming in. Hey, AI know you don't know.
Yeah.
See?
Yes.
That's another problem coming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want your kids to be educated and know?
Yes, sir.
And not let AI tell them what they think they don't know?
Mm.
See, if somebody has to tell you what you know and don't know, guess what? They're in charge of your life right then.
Mm.
They're in charge of you.
Mm.
People don't pay you for what you think you know. They pay you for what you know.
Straight up.
Real talk.
Yes, sir.
And these kids are losing that concept. See, that's a concept. They losing sight of that. And so when I went back to school, I learned what I know and what I don't know. And I can look at any paperwork. I wrote that book. It took me 10 years. I wrote it one word at a time.
Hmm.
But I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know.
Mm.
Where if AI would have wrote it, I don't know what they did.
Mm.
I don't know how they did that. But I took a pen and a paper and a ghostwriter and I wrote it.
Yes, sir.
That's what's real with these kids, man. I don't want to stray away from these kids because that's the name of your show. Dad, can I talk to you?
Mm,
Can we talk?
mm,
That's what kids need to understand. Can we talk about it, Dad? Because they don't know. That's why they need
mm,
to talk. They don't know. And just to be quite frank and honest with you, there's still a lot of things that I don't know.
mm-hmm. Constantly learning.
Yes,
Everybody.
sir. Yes, sir. I don't know everything, but you know what? I know enough to survive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know everything, do you?
Mm. You'll never get to that point.
No. And there's people out there that think they know everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't claim to know everything. I only claim to know what I know. And it's a lot based on what I've been through. It's a lot.
Mm.
It's
If
so,
you
it's
could
so much
change,
I can help somebody else. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
if you could change anything, not even change, like if you could tell yourself one thing, if you could go back and talk with the 18-year-old version of yourself, and sit with the 18-year-old version of Dean, knowing everything that you know now at 72 years old, and you could talk with that young man, what type of advice would you give him?
The first thing I would ask him is define what you want out of your life. What do you want? Define it. I can't do that for you, can I?
Mm.
You have to know what you want out of life, don't you? For yourself.
Mm.
That's called your vision. Now, I can't give you a vision. But once you tell me, now I can work with you. See all these resources I've done and got? Man, I can jump right in there and start helping you create that roadmap for your vision.
Mm.
But until you tell me, I'm lost. That's why when I see a kid with their head down, that's a problem. You see a kid with his head up and he's looking you straight in the eyeball. And he's serious and in his conviction, in his meaning, in his understanding. And as black kids in America, we have a shame in that, in ourselves.
Mm.
I used to do it myself. And Warren Jabali said to me at 14 years old, he says, Dean, you an NBA player, man, and you don't even know it, and you're looking down at the ground, I'm shaking your hand. Lift your head up and look at me, man. And I did that, and my head been up ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Of 14. I look everybody right in the eye and mean what I say and say what I mean and show them my conviction in life, who I am and what I can share and add to this world in one way or another. I'm looking at you right now. And I do it with everybody that I come across. To let them know that I'm serious about this life. Don't play with me no more. You mean what you say? You say what you mean.
Mm.
And then
With
that's
all,
respect.
with all of the, everything that you told me over this past hour, everything that you saw growing up, everything that you've experienced as an adult, uh, a lot of it, I feel like there's a lot that you dealt with mentally. There's a lot that you dealt with physically. Uh, probably a lot that you definitely dealt with spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
How have you combated that, or have you ever, one thing that I deal with as a man now,
Mm-hmm.
just being introspective and looking within,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that I could have done better in this area. I could be better in this area, and just really looking inward and saying to myself, like, and at times, honestly feeling like,
Mm-hmm.
man, like there's failures or things that I've never really overcome inwardly,
Mm-hmm.
and still trying to deal with that, but still got to be a dad, still have to be a husband, still have to be a friend,
It's
still have to
falling
be.
short, right? Still falling short, right?
Yeah, man.
It's deep, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Bring tears to a grown man's eyes, don't it?
Yeah, all the time.
See, we understand each other, don't we?
All the time.
Okay. And so what I try and say about that, Anthony, is who are you innately in your inner self? Who are you really? Have you defined that? Who you really are? See, by me going back to college, I defined who I really was inside and brought it out and showed the world by writing that book. See? And how hard is it? How hard is it to be from illiterate to an author? What do you have to do to accomplish that? And I'll say it again. That's by going inside you and finding out innately who you are as an individual and what you can do, not what somebody else can do. Looking around and making excuses and problems about what somebody else is doing and all this and all that. No, you. And when you focus on that, 100%, you'll find it.
Yes, sir.
That sound on target?
Yes, sir.
Forget about all that stuff they talking, man. I don't listen to nobody no more. I found out in life, every time I listen to somebody else, I go the wrong way. I make the wrong decision. When I started taking responsibility for my own choices, my own decisions, my own failure. Let me tell you something about failure. Failure is pain. Human beings, when they feel pain, don't they? The Super Bowl last night, you know how much pain the San Francisco 49ers felt? You see the pain over there? So the question is, what do you do about pain? What do you do about failure? See that those two things are married in human beings. They marry. That's married. That's a marriage. Failure and pain. And this is why you asked me why I named. That's why I named the book Power Forward. Because I overcame both of those things. Failure and pain. One man told me I should have named my book Forgiveness. That I forgive this system what they did to me. God said, vengeance is mine. So all that is wrapped up in you. I used to pray. I used to cry. Then study. Then don't go to bed until all my assignment is finished and completed. Every book, 4 or 5 classes, every book and every assignment is put it on the bed. Then wake up the next morning. And I don't care how late I stayed up. I'm in that 7:30, 8 o'clock class. 4 years to overcome illiteracy. Those were the 5 vows. Turn in all my assignments on time. Never give up, never quit. And by me crying, that's the pain. I'm overcoming the pain. By me studying my lesson and making little baby steps of progress at a time, daily, I'm overcoming the failure that went on when I was 18 and 21, and I was running around campus chasing the girls and playing basketball and smoking weed and drinking beer and doing stupid stuff, goofing off. And all I did was play ball and goof off. That's how I set the records, because that's all I did was play ball. I skipped class every day. So to overcome all of these things ain't easy. Because you gotta have some fun in there, don't you? You have a little fun there now and then in life, right? Everything can't be 100% serious business all the time. And so when you have that little fun, you screw up sometimes, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have too much fun sometimes, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
And if you got some money, then you even have even more fun, ain't you?
You better believe it.
It's funny, dog.
Better believe it, man. Man, I got one more question for you.
You see how these things all tie together, though, Anthony?
Yeah. I got one more for you.
Okay, go ahead.
If you could give one piece of advice to any dad out there listening right now, what would what would be your last word you want to give to the dads that might listen to this episode?
That they be true to themselves first, and then do the right thing. That's my advice.
Yes, sir.
Be true to you. Because you cannot do the right thing if you ain't true to you. You're gonna do the wrong thing. Guaranteed. You're out there selling drugs or whatever you're doing, hurting people, robbing people. One out every 3 black men in this country got a felony right now. 33% of us. That's high. So if you ain't true to yourself, you're gonna do things. You're gonna do wrong things. Don't be stupid. Be smart. And nobody's gonna come and hold your hand with it. You're gonna be the one to do it, or it won't get done, and you will suffer the consequences of you not doing it and not getting it done because you was not true to yourself about it. That book, you showed you in that book how I'm being true to myself. Every page you read. How I overcame adversity on every page and kept being true and sticking with my game plan to get to the end, to my end game. And pulled it off, and pulled off the biggest upset in American history. Because nobody else has ever done it. And so that's my message to a black man in this country if he want to overcome. Be true to yourself and do the right thing in your life. And it'll work out fine. I am the happiest I ever been in my life right now, today. I don't have anything that's wrong in my life today because I worked that hard to fix it and did the right thing. you know, Anthony, it's hard doing the right thing, man. It really is sometimes. It's hard. It's hard. Because of the way the system and the challenges are set up, it's hard. We get desperate. As a black man, we get desperate.
Yes, sir.
And you veer off course. You veer off the course. You get so much money or something, you think you can do whatever you want to do or whatever.
Mm.
We all have limitations. Know your personal limitations. You got different limitations than I do. I got different limitations than you do. Don't exceed your limitations. You'll get in trouble.
Mm.
That's any black man out there. Do not exceed your limitation. You can only go so far and do so much. Then that's the end of your game. That's the end of your limit. You can't exceed that. Once you exceed that, trouble.
Mm.
And I don't get in no drama with nothing or nobody. Never. And keep that credit report and
Mm.
keep the credit report strong.
Mm-hmm.
I got 800. Keep it, yeah. Then try to own some property. Own 2 houses. One in Washington, one in Arizona.
Mm.
Get some education. Don't have babies and not pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use drugs.
Mm.
See, all of that stuff will get you trained to go off the track. Now, I done accomplished all 5 or 6 of those things, and I still ain't made it to the level I want to make it to in this life. So my life is the yardstick for any black man that wants to understand this.
Mm.
I'm the yardstick. You can compare mine to any of them out there about how to overcome to get to success. You can compare it to anybody out there. I don't care if they're successful or not successful. It still pertains to who you are, what you do, the choices and decisions you make, how smart you are to get where you're going. And none of us can escape that in this life, can we? Nobody. Nobody can escape overcoming adversity, can they?
Mm-mm.
If you got money or you don't got money, right? So this theory pertains to all of us. And I'm so on track now, man. My focus, I just started a nonprofit organization and just got a Fortune 500 endorsement
Mm.
with a major bank.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's how much they believed in me.
Mm. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. This happened 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
Because as you can see, I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about. To help people.
Mm-hmm.
And the bank saw that in me when I did the interview with them.
Mm.
And they gonna help me get there to the mountaintop with it. Because I finally convinced somebody that I got something that can help a whole lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And in this society, people need help right now, don't they?
Mm.
Ain't that why you got your show, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Help somebody, right?
Yes, sir.
As well as help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Somebody that then gave up. Somebody that want to commit suicide. And just end it. Somebody that you helped through that process and they made it because they heard you. They changed their mind. you change their mind. And that's why I came on your show.
Sir, well, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
For having me on.
Oh yeah. Hey, man, I definitely got to go back through, man, and read more of the book.
Yes, sir.
I got it now, and I'll definitely be reading more of that, man. Just learning more of your story, and man, I appreciate you coming on and spending some time with me, man. I know like I say, we had a little time complication. Listen,
We had a
we
little powwow, didn't we?
yes, sir. We made it through it, and this was a blessing. And like you said, you know, I always say this podcast, I put it out there for everyone else to hear it. But more than anything, this podcast is for me. I'm trying to learn as a dad, as a man. And the more and more people that I sit down and talk with and gain wisdom and insight from is helping me at all day. I'm just always trying to learn more and just become a better man and a better dad, you know, better husband.
It's a blessing.
Yes, sir.
You blessed.
Yes, sir.
At 35?
35.
You blessed.
Yes, sir.
But most young men at 35, they don't understand this concept that we just went over. They don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going in all different directions.
Mm.
And it's gonna get, do you know, it's gonna get harder? Do you know that?
Yeah, boy. They better believe that.
You see it?
They better believe it.
It's coming, isn't it?
Oh, it's coming. And it's coming fast, where people just
They're coming fast, like a freight train.
that's a whole other conversation right there. It's coming.
It's coming.
Yes,
And so
sir.
your preparation is everything, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yes, sir.
And I'll be honest with you, see, I almost died about 6 months ago.
Mm.
My heart
Wow.
had to have the surgery. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is doing commercials on AFib,
Mm.
afibrillation,
Mm-hmm.
arrhythmia. That's what happened to me. I just got a maker put in my heart today.
Yeah, that's what you okay, that's what you were telling me about. Okay, yeah.
And I went to the doctor, and that's to prevent you from having a heart attack or a stroke.
Mm. Wow.
So I'm okay, but I'm on the border, and I really want people like yourself to help me get this message to society and to these kids, man. Okay, and I'm gonna send you some more stuff besides the book. Okay,
Please do.
okay, let's go deeper than just the book. If you want to look at something other than the book, I got other things for you to help you look at, because I do want to help these dads out here, man, understand this.
Yes, sir.
That they can do this. Don't you believe they can do
Yes, sir.
it? Or she wouldn't be doing the show, would you?
Straight up.
You believe it that a young man
Mm.
that became a dad
Mm.
do something influential to help their kid get through this.
Mm-hmm.
And their kid look up to him as being their dad and a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I really appreciate you. I'll let you off the hook. And do you got my phone number and all this stuff?
I don't. You can send it to me on the email. Send it to me.
Okay.
I sent you my phone number, but
Okay.
yeah, send me your information, man. We can stay in contact.
Okay. And also send you that slam dunk contest, Anthony.
Okay. Okay. I gotta see that 48-inch article.
You want to see that? No, you do. You're an NBA guy, you want to see that.
Sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, man. I'm gonna get on back in here too.
Okay, one love.
Man,
One
so
love.
for all my listeners out there, y'all stay tuned. we're gonna end episode 123 like this with my man Dean Tolson. Y'all go check out his book, Power For. Before you leave, tell the people where they can find your book.
They can find my book on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or on Kindle, any of those major books.com. And the main thing is have them go to the deantolson.com website. You said you went to the website?
Yeah, I went to the website. Yep.
And that was impressive?
Yeah, it was nice.
Okay.
I like
well, kids, thank you. Kids need to see that website. They need to go and look at that like you did. And it's all about encouragement, man. We are here, you and I are here to encourage others to become successful in their life. That's what this is.
Yes, sir.
Every day, all day.
So yes, sir. I'll spread the word for you, man, and hopefully, everything goes well. We're gonna say you will be. We're gonna speak the life into it. Everything with your health, your heart, all of that, man. God gonna make sure he put his hands on you.
Yes, be blessed.
Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir. Well, yeah, y'all, we're gonna end it like that. Is that Can We Talk episode 123, and we are out of here.
Okay, thank you, Anthony.